Hi everyone, it's Desiree. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me for another video. So today I wanted to go over Go Wild. If you're not sure what Go Wild is a planner conference where a bunch of planners get together. There's like speakers and different events, and it's honestly just like 2 days where you're 2-3 days where you're hanging out with just a bunch of planners, like people who know about your love and you just understand your obsession when it comes to planners. So yeah, I'm going to be attending the next Go Wild, which is in 2023, and it's going to be in DC. They just announced it like a couple weeks ago. I already bought my ticket, and this will be my second Go Wild. So I kind of wanted to go over my experience because I don't want to tell people like, you should go, it's the best thing ever. Because honestly, there were some things I wasn't a huge fan of when it came to the event. So I kind of wanted to give my experience and like why I'm choosing to go again, because a lot of my friends, I'm going to be honest, a lot of my friends did not think it was worth it to go to this event again because it's so much money, and it was just, there were a lot of negative things that I think we all felt, and I agree with them on, that we didn't enjoy about the event, and definitely didn't want to like pay all this money to go and attend it again. So I'm gonna go over like why I'm going again, and like what I didn't enjoy about technically this year's Go Wild that was actually here in Southern California in Anaheim. I had so much fun. I'm not gonna like lie. It was a lot of fun, but a lot of the fun happened when it was not at the event. So that's why I'm kind of like, I was kind of going back and forth, like, should I attend this event? Should I pay all this money to go attend something that I really didn't see the value in money-wise? But I really enjoyed being around all of these people. Like, that was the best part of the event. Yeah, I kind of like went back and forth on it. So yeah, I'm kind of giving it also another shot because I'm hoping that last year was just like, maybe it was a fluke and that's why it wasn't as good as what I've heard it's been in the past, because I know people who attended past Go Wilds and then attended this one and they said like this wasn't a good one. So, you know, I just don't want to be like putting it out there like, oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever. When it kind of wasn't the best thing ever, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over just a little bit of my experience of the event, and the things that I didn't like about the event. So just to kind of like a little warning, like I already know going into it, like I'm not really going in to like hear the speakers and like do all these. I'm going to go hang out with these amazing people that I met when I attended the one here in Anaheim. Like, you just met like everybody. It was crazy. Like, just being able to see everybody in person and put like a face to the names that I see, like the people commenting like on my YouTube videos and stuff. Everybody was so nice, and like we were all just like kind of like talking. It's like you knew everybody. It was crazy. I just love that. I love being around that energy that everybody who was attending was giving off. Like, it was just so much fun. The event like there were a lot of speakers. Actually I have like the breakdown of the event. So like the first day, it wasn't really like much going on. It was just like registration day, and they had like this area where they had some booths set up, and they had like Happy Planner, Live Love Posh was set up. They had Zebra set up. I think Zebra was giving away like mild liners, and of course like people were taking like all the mild liners. Like, they were really helping themselves to the mild liners, where when we got there were no more mild liners because they were just being a little bit too greedy, I think, with them. But yeah, there was a lot of like freebie stuff that they were giving away, which was really nice. And then that was a place where you can go and like mingle with people too. You could like finally meet people that you hadn't actually met in person, just only knew from online, which was awesome. So that day was pretty chill. Like, it was just, you know, checking into the hotel, and then just, you know, getting your stuff and meeting up with people, and I think we probably had dinner with some friends, and then kind of went to bed early because I already knew that I was gonna wake up early to go stand in line because the event actually had, okay, yeah, I found it. So the doors opened up at like 7 a.m. to go into like where the Go Wild event was happening. So it was all at the hotel, so that was nice. So I think I woke up at like 4, so that way I can stand in line around like 5. And so only a couple hours before, which wasn't too bad. I got a good spot in line. I wasn't like at the front or anything, but I was in a good spot where I wasn't like towards the back or anything like that. Because the whole point of this was so that way you could get in, be one of like the initial people to get in and get a good table. Because all the tables were gonna be, you know, set up and sponsored by different companies, and they were just all kind of like, there's a lot of tables to pick from. Some companies sponsored more than one table, so I did know that I was going to try to go for a zebra table because they had like mild liners and different pens and different things that I know that I could possibly use. I had heard that that was a good table to sit at. If that one didn't work out, where I wasn't able to get a spot, then I was probably try to go to like Happy Planner or something like that, because they had a bunch of tables too. I think they had like 10 tables set up, and they actually did a really good job this year with their tables. Every table had its own different theme, so everybody had like different stuff. Like it wasn't like all the tables were set up exactly the same. They had different types of themes, and they had like really good stuff on there, but a lot of that I had already had, so I wanted to set something different. That was always my goal, was to not sit at a Happy Planner table, but that's why I wanted to go to the zebra one. And then like Live Love Posh set up a table, which was really, really good too. Paper Panda had a really good table. There were a lot of really good tables from like small shops. They did a really good job. Erin Condren, her table looked really sad. That table looked really bad. I know I was right next to where I was sitting, and a lot of people were kind of avoiding that one until eventually they had no choice to sit there. So yeah, some did a good job, some did not a good job. I could probably put a picture of my table. It was so cute. They gave you like a cute little zebra stuffed animal. So yeah, thankfully I did get to sit at the table that I wanted to sit at, but before I got in there, I thought, oh no, I'm not going to get a good table, because when we started going, we're waiting in line for hours, and then they finally opened the doors to let everybody in, and it's going nicely, you know, finally getting around, can kind of see inside and see everybody, see the inside of how it's decorated. And then all of a sudden, like, somebody opens up another double door off to the side and starts letting in like all the people who were behind us start going in before us. Like all the people who rolled in like really, really late, they start going in. And then it kind of got a little hectic after that, because then the people who are early start seeing like all these other people getting in before us, and we're like, well, that's not right. So it got a little hectic. I'm hoping that this time around, like, that doesn't happen again. I don't know what the line situation is gonna be this time around. I mean, the whole line situation is kind of ridiculous too. But I don't know how else they would do it. But I'm hoping that at least, like, you know, if somebody got there first, like, they should be able to get in first, you know. So yeah, let's hope that this time around there's nothing like that happens. That's what I'm hoping. And then that day there were just a bunch of speakers. Honestly, it was boring in a way, except for a couple of things. There were a couple of things that were good in the whole speaker thing. So let's see. Chloe Hillard, who is a comedian, she was hilarious. No relation to any kind of planning or anything like that. Had no clue what a planner conference or a planner event was, but she was just a really funny comedian. Yeah, she was hilarious. So that was good. And then the other thing that I really liked was the Wild at Home panel. So that featured Amy Tangerine, Siobhan Dixon, Kane Anderson, and Marquita Cummings. So the 4 of them were like on a panel, and then they were allowing people to ask questions. And I really enjoyed that, because you know, they really had to think on their feet and, you know, answer these questions that people were asking, and they were very informative and helpful, which was really nice to see. You know, everybody else had their, like, you know, pre-done script of what they were gonna say, and I'm really hoping that we're not having to sit through like the same type of speeches and that type of, I don't know. We don't know who the speakers are yet. They haven't announced them. But I kind of don't want to hear about somebody's like planner story, because we kind of already know their planner stories if they're like known. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I really liked that panel. The panel was amazing. Like being able to ask the questions and for them to answer and stuff. Like they were really, really good. So I enjoyed those two things from that. But that was it. After that, we had like a break so we could go hang out, and that's when all the fun was happening. Like when you're hanging out with everybody, you know, so we were meeting up at different places, and thankfully I had my car, so it was easy to get around, and we, you know, just hang out with a bunch of people, kind of just to let people know, like, hey, we're meeting up here, does anybody want to join, like that type of thing. So that was a lot of fun. And later in the day there was like a crop section where I really enjoyed that. It was Christine from Twinkle Plans Her Day. She was doing like a mild liner type of class, showing how to use the mild liners. And I actually was like, me and my friends, we were sitting there, we were actually going along with her, like she was showing different techniques and different things, and it was so good. She did such a great job. The only problem was that everybody else in that room like was just chatting away and not paying attention to what she was saying and kind of being rude, I want to say. Yeah. And yeah, it was not cool. Yeah, she was doing a really informative like class on how to use those mild liners, and I learned like a new technique from it, and it was totally lost in the fact that, you know, everybody else was just chatting away and not like really paying attention. And it sucks because I would hope that there were more things like that at a planner, like at this event. Like I want to learn different ways, like different creative ways to use items. That adds more value than like hearing somebody's like planner story, to be honest. So I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, they haven't announced anything when it comes to like events and stuff, but yeah, she did a really good job at that crop, that wild crop, I think that's what they called it. Is that what they call it? Yeah, wild crop, featuring using mild liners for productivity. That was really, really good. Christine did a good job on that. And then they had like a bunch of booths. Honestly, like standing in line for like little freebie things, I'm not doing that again. That was such a waste of time. It was just, yeah, I didn't understand that. It was so funny because like we were still under like COVID kind of restrictions. Like we still had to wear a mask and everything, but they're wanting us to like line up and get in like these big groups, and I didn't understand that part, but that's what was happening at that one. But if I see anything like that at this event, I'm avoiding it. I'm not, honestly, all that stuff that I got standing in those lines for who knows how long just to get like a little sticker, like a random washi, it's just still sitting in a bag that I haven't even touched. Like it's not worth it, you know? The mild liner, like the stuff I got at the zebra table, I've been using that stuff. That has definitely come in handy, but all those little like freebie things that I thought I knew, I'm like, I have to get that, it's free. It totally wasn't worth it. So I wouldn't waste my time on that stuff, to be honest. Like I'd rather have gone to spend time with like, hang out with friends. We ended up going down to the bar area and just like having drinks and dessert and stuff like that. So we had a lot of fun. Again, a lot of fun off of the planner conference time, unfortunately. Yeah, that's when we had a lot of fun. When it was like, when we had our downtime, that was when we had fun. Yeah. So Saturday was it wasn't as hectic because it's not like you had to go and find a table to sit at, like specifically. Like it was a more chill type of day, thankfully. It was like you had to go line up or anything like that. So we found a table. There were more speakers, of course, more speakers. And they did have, it's funny, all the planner, non-planner related speakers they had, I enjoyed. except for one. But they had Amanda LeCount. I don't know how to say her name. She was a dancer, and she had a really good like body positivity type message and story. And then she did a little dance after that, and she was super cute and sweet. And then the other one, the keynote speaker, was Alicia Silverstone, who was terrible. And yeah, that one was really disappointing. I had been really looking forward to seeing Lisa Rinna, because that's initially who was supposed to be the keynote speaker. And I love the Housewives, and I knew that she was gonna be hilarious. Like, just anything comes out of her mouth, and I knew it was gonna be really, really entertaining. But she had to cancel, so they had to find somebody else. They found Alicia Silverstone, and I thought that when I heard that, I'm like, you know what, maybe that'll be better, because people actually know her. Like, everybody kind of knows who she is. Like, a lot of people didn't know Lisa Rinna. Like, some of my friends didn't know who she was. So I figured, oh, you know what, this probably would be better. She's more well known. Like, she's actually a movie star. And yeah, so I thought it would be better. People were really excited, you know, to see her. I was too, until she started talking, and then I realized that she's terrible. So she definitely wasn't a planner, which I think in the past they've gotten people who are planners in the past. Like, I remember the one from Vegas, I think she was like in Vogue or something. She's like a singer, and she actually was a planner. She had a planner room. She had like a planner carts and stickers and washi. Like, she could understand. Like, Alicia Silverstone is not a planner. Like, she has zero clue on the planning. She probably plans things in her life, of course, but not like how we do. So she just started talking about like basically being a vegan, and just like weird things started coming up. It was very strange. I don't think she liked questions about her being on what's that movie that she's in? Wow, I'm drawing a blank. Clueless. That's the one. Clueless. She seemed kind of annoyed by those questions. At least that's how it seemed. Even though honestly that's the only thing I know her from. Like, I think maybe she was in like a Batman movie, but other than that, like, I've never seen anything else that she's in. So yeah, she was a dud, and people were upset about that, but yeah, that was not a good one. So hopefully they pick a speaker. Again, we don't know who the speakers are, but hopefully they pick a speaker who like understands us, especially if they're gonna be the keynote speaker. Like, come on. So again, we'll see. And then later that night, they did have a Planjama party, which I only attended for a little bit. But from what I saw, like, it was really, really good. The Happy Planner threw it, and there was like some good food. There's actually food at this one, which was nice. And there were drinks, there was dancing and all that. Again, I could only stay for a little bit because I ended up having to rush home because my cat had stopped eating. And I had been giving her fluids like every day, and my mom didn't know how to give her fluids, and she was taking care of her while I was gone, and I had to rush back home. Thankfully, I was local again, and kind of give her more fluids. Unfortunately, like, after I came back from Go Wild, like, I had to put her down like the day after, because she just stopped eating, and I didn't want to see her starve. So it was so sad. But I did have to leave. So I didn't attend the whole party and that part, but it did look like a lot of fun. Yeah, it looked really good. And there was actually, on the first day, I forgot to mention because it was not good. I forgot to mention, there actually was a like party on the first night. I completely forgot, actually, that it was the first night. I thought, oh, it was a chill day. No, it actually was a, let's see, what was it? That's how memorable it was. Chrissy Ann Design's welcome party. They had karaoke. They had the confetti carpet going on. They had some like photo booth areas. It was so cold and windy that, yeah, it was just really, really cold. And they had cupcakes, and I remember seeing like all these tables filled with like not even half-eaten cupcakes. It was just like all these cupcakes, and we wanted a cupcake. We kind of got there a little bit late, and we wanted to try a cupcake, and there were no more cupcakes, but we just saw all of them like on tables, like piled onto tables. and which we thought was weird because I'm like, dang, like they just picked a cupcake and didn't eat it. Like, what's that about? So we found out later that it was because people were eating them and I guess they were really gross, which is weird because I don't know. I feel like cupcakes are pretty easy to make. So I don't know why they would be gross, but that's why there were so many piled up on the tables. It's just like people would take a bite and then realize it was not good and then just kind of chuck it on the table. So yeah, that wasn't good. So yeah, again, I just want to stress, like, I am going to this event again. I'm gonna pay all this money again. But I already know, the event is not what I'm going for. Like, the conference, the swag was not like what it was in the past from what I've heard from past Go Wild people. Like, the swag was really sad. So if you're going thinking you're gonna get like all this swag, I don't know, maybe they'll change it, but from my experience, it was not good. I did sit at a good table, so that I did get good stuff from there, but everything else was just like, it was nothing special. The Happy Planner actually did a good swag bag. They did a good job on theirs. So, but again, don't go for the swag because it might not be there and you're gonna be really disappointed. So don't go thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get all this stuff and it's gonna be worth it. Don't do that. For me, what I'm going is just to go hang out with everybody, which I could have totally gone to this, you know, stayed at the same hotel and hung out while, you know, everybody was out of the event and not attended the conference. I could have totally done that. But then I was thinking that I met a lot of people while I was standing in line, while I was just walking around, like I was hanging out in those like areas where everybody was hanging out. And I kind of don't want to miss that opportunity to meet a bunch of people that way, because when we were doing our own things, it wasn't like we were running into people while we were out and about. So there's more chance of like seeing somebody that you hadn't seen, but you hadn't planned on hanging out with while you're at the event. So yeah, that's basically where I'm going. It's just to hang out with everybody. So if you go, please, you know, look out for me and say hi. But yeah, I'm not going because I thought like the conference was incredible. I'm not going because I thought like the events that they threw were amazing. I'm just going to meet everybody. That's why I'm going. That's the only reason why, is just to meet you if you are planning on going, to have that opportunity to see you. Because even like I had mentioned that first day when I don't know if I had mentioned actually, the first day when we were like waiting in line to register, it took forever, but I saw so many people that day. And just to be able to finally meet and have that opportunity was like the best. So that's why I'm going. That's why I'm giving Go Wild another try. If this one is a dud, like the one in Anaheim was, then, you know, probably won't be attending the next one. Again, I want to give it another chance. Another reason why I want to go to this one is because I know that in DC, there's going to be a lot to do, like on the downtime, and a lot of it's free. So at least I won't have to pay like to go into the museums and do all like the sightseeing kind of stuff, except for like, you know, Ubers and stuff like that. But it's not like the one that was here in Anaheim, we did a Disney day. So that was expensive. That was expensive to do a Disney day. But it'll be like, I like that kind of stuff. I like going to sightsee and, you know, seeing the monuments and doing things like that. So, yeah, I know I'm going to have a good time. I just don't know if like the event is going to be good. So just a little bit of, just wanted to let you know my experience with it and, you know, my thought process when it comes to Go Wild, because I don't want to be like, I don't want to make it seem like it's the most amazing thing ever, that you should go. It's so, yeah, that it's the best thing. Because yeah, a lot of my friends don't think it is, and they're not attending this time around. And yeah, I mean, I understand where they're coming from, and I do agree with them. It's just, I kind of want to give it a second chance So that's why I'm going. So we shall see. So if you plan on buying a ticket or if you plan on going, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to know. But yeah, that's been my experience with Go Wild. Hopefully I was able to give you like a little insight on it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button. And I hope to see you on the next one.